So welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be doing the billet centre for the DQ500. I have had the DQ500 for some time now, bought it off a friend. It took me a while to buy the billet centre, but I bought the billet centre and I've had it for a couple of months. Just not really at the time, so I've had a spare couple of hours this morning that I thought, you know what, with this spare time I'm just going to do the billet centre. Quite an easy thing to do. Not many tools are required, just some patience. You will need a pillar drill with adjustable speed. Putting any sort of steel high speed is not going to work, so you need something that you can slow right down, because if you are going too fast with this, you are just going to heat the part up, and when you heat up steel it gets harder and you're going to really struggle. A pillar drill with adjustable speed. If you buy the Deka kit, which I have, the Deka DCT DQ500 kit, comes with all the drill bits that you need. It comes with the reamer that you need, it comes with all the bolts. The only thing that you're going to have to buy is some Loctite for when you're finished, for the final assembly. And that is it, that is all you need. So, this video is just going to be, might feel a bit slow, it might be a bit tutorial, might be a bit boring, might be some close-ups of the same shot, but with me talking behind it, and there'll be some of my thoughts and inputs. On the Deka tutorial I'll point out already, which I do in the video, at one point it tells you to use the 8.6mm to drill the rivets out. Do not do that. You'll just, make the hole too large. Talk about it in the video, I follow the video and make that mistake. Nothing major, nothing's gone wrong or nothing's ruined, but just bear that in mind. So follow this tutorial. If you've been thinking about it, or you're nervous about it, or you think, oh, I'm gonna have to pay someone to do it, it's honestly easy enough. If you have basic knowledge of tools and you've got the tools around you and you feel confident, just give it a go. So yeah, I hope you enjoy the rest of this video, because it's going to be a lot of close-ups of me drilling holes and talking. I'll show you the finished flywheel once we're done, and I hope you enjoy. I've got the flywheel for my DSG gearbox, and I've still got to do the work to it and put the billet centre in by drilling these out. But what I'm going to do is quickly, it's been sat for a while, so it's looking a little bit tired and a little bit rusty. So this is the before, what it looks like before I throw it in the vapor blaster. I've got a vapor blaster here, so I'm just going to quickly throw it in. There's some parts that I've just done for a customer, came out great. It's just like a bright finish on some aluminium, and then just going to throw this in, get some of the surface rust off, clean it off, make it a bit nicer to handle when I'm doing the work on it. And then, yeah, I'll show you that when it's finished. This is a flywheel straight out of the vapor blaster. Still needs to dry off, it's a bit wet. Both sides. All the rust and all the contaminants off the metal's gone now though. And like I say, I can drill these out, and then I can put the billet centre in, which I'm going to do now. We'll throw it into the pillar drill, get it all nice and square, show you what I'm going to do, walk through it, do a little step-by-step guide of how to fit the billet centre onto this flywheel. So standard, these are just shims here, they're only thin bits of metal. So hard launches, big power will cause this to shear apart, and then you'll just have a really rattly flywheel, or failing that, no power, and your clutch will just slip. So obviously with it being 700-ish brake, which is what we're going for, the 700 plus, I want to be able to launch this car, I want to be able to hammer it. So this was the option. Like I say, just replaces that centre section there, so that's what it'll look like when it's done. So we've got to drill these rivets out, and then it just bolts in. It's a bolting piece, which you might be able to see. There we go. Yeah, so these are just threads there, so slide it in, twist it in, put the threads in, bolt it down. Not sure what side the shims go, whether it's the top side or the bottom side. I think it might be the top side. It's got a shim there, if you can see. Yeah, there we go. Just got a shim there. So the next thing to do is set up my pillar drill. That's what I've got here. Nothing fancy. So what I'm just doing now is I've just got a bit of stainless bar, and just going to try and get this as square as I can get it. See that? That gap there, I want to try and get rid of that and get that as square as possible. So this bed tilts. It's the same in the centre, makes no odds where this table is. still the same. Still got the same run out. There we go. This, because this table shifts this way, you know, from left to right on the pivot point. So there is my run out there. See it? So I just need to, should be able to just give it a knock for now, and then I'll turn it up. And there we go. See, almost square now, which is good, which is what I want it. This bed ain't the best. Check both sides. Adjustment. Something to tighten that up. I've now got the bed tight, and this is, I was just looking down this edge here, just there, just to make sure we're square on both edges and all round, as you can see. For a little draper pillar drill, will do the job. So happy with that. With the kit, they do send you the right drill bits that you'll need to do this. So you'll be drilling the rivets out first, and then you'll be drilling, I think it's these centres. I think you drill these out first, after. Obviously they've got a nice little centre to try and follow. These you're only taking off a little bit just to knock the rivets off, I'm sure. Just gonna have to, again, I'm following a step-by-step guide, and then I'll just show that it's easy for you lot to do at home if you've got a pillar drill, or if you've got a mag drill that you could do on this, that you could do onto a metal bench. That would also work really well. So what we're going to do is we're going to start by marking the bits that we're going to be removing and drilling out. So it's these outside with the star hex, and then these inside ones and them. So you leave these for now, and it's the ones that have got a nice little engraving on the two opposite sides, which are inside here. They've also got a slight indentation on the centre of these, so you should find centre quite easy. And yeah, let's start with the 7.5mm drill that they give you, and we'll be going through these. So let's get over to the pillar drill and we'll go through that. So I'm just going through the belt of this now, so I am just adjusting it to a nice speed that I see. Still, it's a bit slow that. I want to go a little bit faster, so I am just going to alter. I'm going to move this next belt up one. Hopefully get a bit of a faster RPM. I've just moved that belt up one notch. And that's a much better speed, so I'm happy to drill at that. So it comes with 3 different drill bits. So it comes with a 7.5 that you're going to have to go in with first. And then I think this is an 8 or an 8.6. I think it's an 8.6. And then you follow off with that, and then you'll put your initial hole, which will give enough clearance, that way you're not going to damage any sort of material on the flywheel. Then you're going to go in with the 8.6, and that's just going to knock the rivet, whatever you want to call this, that's going to knock that off, and then you'll be able to remove the pieces that you need. So, and then at the end, when you come to fit the billet centre, you'll need to ream the holes out with this 9mm, which we'll also go over. So it's quite self-explanatory, and yeah, so just get this set up, throw this first drill size. It says 7.6 on their tutorial, but it's a 7.5. It makes no odds to me. So let's throw this in. Very faintly you can see a centre on the rivet sort of thingy on, so I get the drill spinning and then just look for where I'm hitting on centre, which is there, and then I'm happy, and then away you go. Just got an old magnet from upstairs that I'm just pulling all my swarf out of. Obviously I'll give everything a good clean once I've finished the job. So I'm happy with that. So I'm just going to swap over to the next size drill bits and go over, and then hopefully they should pop out a bit like a rivet does, so where you drill the head off and it comes off, and then I should be able to take this outer ring off. So let's see. It goes. Not doing what I need it to. That one did, which is good. Not good. Come back to those. Just keep going round. That's good. Might just want the tiniest bit of persuasion, like that, which is fine. Last thing I want to do is damage the flywheel. There we go, and off it comes. So just remember not to go too deep, because if you go too deep into this and past the shim, you're then going to be eating into the material of the flywheel, and the material there is what you need to attach the billet centre to. So these aren't too important, but I'm just going to knock it off because I can. Same again. It's probably a bit safer doing it that way anyway. So that's all that off. I'm just going to get something to pry this off, and this should come off, this outer ring. So now I've removed this outer shim, that's now removed. And then we're going to work on these inside bolts here. So we're going to work on that one. We're going to work on this one. I'm going to repeat the process. We're going to go with the 7.5 and then go through with the 8. So we're going to work on those 4 for now. We pull that along here with the green, so we like it. There's one. A nice little collection of bits that have popped off. You can just go in the bin, you don't need any of that. There we go. There's another component out. And next we're just on these outside here, and then I know once you've done this you'll have to cut through it with an angle grinder at some points, because you have to cut it apart. Same again, we're going to be drilling these out, so always just mark what you're working. Don't want to be drilling out something incorrectly. So it's all these outside 4 that is left, these, and then we're going to have to cut across here and here to slide this out. So you want to go in with the 8.5 straight away, and then on these opposite corners through that section, through this where there's a, you can see there's a double line, where there's a double thing, and you're going to want to cut through there with something, and then you'll knock the pins through. So yeah, that drill bit shouldn't be that bent, but it is. But we're going with it. So don't trust the tutorial. It says put the 8.6 back in to drill these out, but it's definitely not. It doesn't leave enough room. So what I've done is I've got a nice centre, sort of. Just started nicking into where I didn't want it to. So I'm not going to continue with that. So I've put the 7.5 back in. And I'm going to go and continue to drill through with that. I just felt that release, which is good, this is what I wanted. I think if we cut this, we could probably knock these in and get the bits out that we need. Can I trust you with a hammer? Maybe. Come in and grab that hammer. Grab that hammer. There you go. You tap the top of that. Get a knock one. Don't hit me though. Go on. Ooh. These rivets, the ones that are underneath there, are an absolute pain. You have to just pry yourself underneath and the whole ring will spin. You just have to spin it one way, left and right. So you can pop the rivets out from underneath. So there is a side to this, so you can see the seal there, you can see the seal there, see the seal going all around, but you can't see the seal here. So this is where you're going to put the billet centre into. So you've got the room to do it, so you'll just put one of the lugs in and then you're in. Ream one of these holes out on the actual billet centre, and then I am going to ream one of the holes out. I'm going to ream number 1 on this, and then I'm going to put the bolt in, and then I'm going to ream that hole together, put the bolt in, and then go around and ream all the rest of the bolts once I've got the opposite corners in. And I'll ream it all in whilst I've got the billet centre in place. So I'll just set up the tripod again and I'll go through reaming this and reaming that, and then yeah, hopefully we'll have a fully assembled flywheel soon. So it turns out this is already reamed to the correct size, so yeah, should have checked that before. There is no difference. That took off absolutely zero. Nothing. So these are already the right size, so this is what's different to the old installation video for the Deka for this clutch. So these are already the right size, don't need reaming out, so just need to ream one section on that and then start putting the bolts in. I've made sure all these are drilled out to the 8.5. I'll start with this one in this corner that I've marked. Because it's a tapered reamer, we'll just centre it like that. That's that first hole reamed. And what I will do is I'll just get a blower and I'll blow all this out because I don't want it to be a mess. So I've reamed hole number 1, which is there. I'm also going to ream hole number 2, which is the opposite side. Just that way I can get the flywheel in there and marked, and 2 bolts down. So 2 bolts into the flywheel, and then I'll follow through with the rest. There is an orientation for this. You want to make sure that the flywheel holes marry up with themselves, otherwise you're not going to get your flywheel bolts through. So make sure that they align, keep turning it until you find the right orientation. As you can see, if I was to drill it in there and set it in there, it's not the right one. Obviously I'm going to pass through. I'm going to bolt 2 of these in like they do on the Deka tutorial. I'm going to put opposite corners on, and then I'm going to follow through with a reamer with it installed on 2 bolts, just to make sure I am in the right place. That's spinning sometimes, this thing. So there we go. So I've only managed to get 1 bolt fully in. The other one I did also ream, but it's only going partially in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the opposite corners and then put some bolts in there. I'm going to back that one out. Then I'm going to ream that one again, put that one in, all 4, and then I'll have them 2, and then I'll do the opposites, and then opposites. even though I passed through all these with the reamer through the top side, I still feel like it needs a tiny little bit more taking off on. It needs the reamer to go through a little bit more. Oh, well, that one's gone in. She's good. Okay. Maybe I was wrong. That one doesn't go in. No. That one's gone in. I'll just go over the ones that have and haven't. I'll get them all in, and then I'll just give them a little bit more if needs be. That one's not going in. Don't understand why. Is that one going to go in? You can't see that, can you? No. No. So what I'm going to do now is mark the ones that I am not happy with, and I'll just use the reamer on its own. So I'll take the billet centre back out. So we've got this one, this one, this one, and this one. It does just have a bottom lip on it, I can see it. This one, it's not going through because it's got the section underneath it. So it's going to require me to pry the flywheel apart as I ream this hole, because it's got this sort of nipple underneath, and it's not going to allow me to ream the hole fully. There for me. Just pry on it. Hopefully I can hold that and do this at the same time. Right. So that should be all them holes ream now. Line it back up. She's there. No, it's not. She's there. What I'll do is I'll take it over to the bench. There's number one. Still not liking that one, is it? Do that one. This is one that I marked. Still doesn't like that one for some reason. That one I've marked, and that one it's gone in now, which is good. It's nice and tight. Back them all off a little bit. So the reason I've not been able to get these bolts in, it's not because it's not centre, is because whether this is moved, I don't know, but as it's come down, it's nipped the front side of this thread here, so I'm trying to bind it in and it's doing nothing. So what I've done is, I don't know what thread size this is or tap size, and I don't think I've got one in. So what I've been doing is going in from the back, pushing whatever I've done, and see it's binding there. It shouldn't be, it should be a nice, still got quite a bit of thread left to go, so just clearing out the thread from the back side, tighten it up, loosen it, and then it's been clearing exactly what I need it to out the top side of the thread, and then it'll allow the bolt to go in now. So there's four or something that wouldn't let me go in all the way in. So now I've just put all the bolts back in so the bolts fit, so it should go back into this. I'm going to do it on the bench because I think I won't need the reamer anymore. Got everything on the bench now. I'm going to dry fit it first. Just got some isopropyl alcohol here, which I'm just going to wipe the flywheel down with, wipe all the components that are going in. Mainly the nuts really, because they come oiled, so I'm just going to try and remove the oil off the threads. Yes, come on, there we go. Just going to take some of the ones that I've got a crap bit of thread lock on. There's the first one. Pretty dry. Oh, great. Bottle's running out. Alright, set this to 30 Newton meters. Seen the little close-ups of the flywheel, but I just thought I'd show you. That's it, all Loctited in, all built up, ready to go, fully ready to mount onto the engine. It's fully ready, all the sends. So you've got your provisions to get your bolts through to bolt the flywheel to the engine. All the holes line up perfectly. Kit's great, can't fault it. And yeah, can't wait to throw this on and have some DSG. Yeah, if you're thinking about it, get it done. We'll be documenting the rest of this. Obviously, the next thing on this is going to be the manifold part series. That's coming next. I'm going to find some free time to weld that up. I've got the collector and other bits that I'm going to be doing. So keep an eye out for these videos. If you like what you saw, stick the notification bell on. Comment what you want to see. Comment if you've got anything to input to what I've done here today or what you want to see in the future. Can't wait to start this build and get it on the road. Pushing for summer, so let's get it done and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.